that? Can you see me? No.
Yeah, I see you.
No, no, change the layout. So here you out, you say the tiles, and you tiles, you move this yellow to the maximum.
Now, here it says change layout, okay? And it's four little
And that
boxes.
blue line, you push the blue line on the right
There is
side.
no blue line here.
Or you
Oh,
put
yeah,
it,
here's a blue line.
yes, you put it on the right side, slide it on the right side.
Okay.
And then, okay, so we are talking about self inquiry. The entire Eastern wisdom is the art of unbecoming, unbecoming, I'm stressing, the art of unbecoming, releasing who you thought you were. Did you understand? It is an art of unbecoming, releasing who you thought you were. Example. Just an example, so don't get offended. Sophie and the John. Because that couple is there, so that will serve as a good example. Huh? There are no other couples, here. So take an example. Sophie gets angry over John. So he is not John when she becomes angry. John is a husband. Now apply the principle. The art of unbecoming, releasing who you thought. Sophie thought he is my husband, he is crazy. Sorry, don't get offended. So he is crazy. Now you release the thought. What thought you release? He is my husband. What happens then? Does the Sophie remain angry? No. It's gone. What was before? It was identification and attachment. So the mind is consumed with an image of the John, and that exclusively deleted the other relationship. So when the mind created a big image about not the John husband, so first you release who you thought you were. Who you thought I am the wife. How dare you, John? Well, you might have those events in your life, but anyhow, don't talk about that. I'm just citing an example. So when you release that thought that you are the wife and he is the husband, how dare you? You make me crazy. Oh, who makes you crazy? Husband. Now, first step. Second step, now think, search, where is husband in the John? There is no husband in the John. So identification is dropped. Identification works at the mental and the emotional level. They are not visible at the physical level. Because of identification and attachment, we make them visible at the physical level. So the outer situation is causing me the stress. Whether that situation is with the honey, with any person, with an event, with a celebration, with the time, with a location, and that is the problem. That is the summary of self-inquiry, but it does not go easily, so we have to follow different steps, step by step understanding what is identification, what is attachment, how the identification takes place, how the attachment takes place, and what is the result of this attachment. Attachment is either you fall in love, means that you fall in lower consciousness, that results into greed and hesitation, that creates the delusion, and delusion creates a big ego, and that ego says, how dare you? Are you understanding? But that understanding should go to the mind, because the mind has accumulated millions and trillions of impressions of identification and attachment. You may try to release them by intellectual understanding, but the next day you wake up in the morning, you look at this, my honey is crazy. The mind simply pops up with this thought. Are you understanding? So it is not between the honey means any relationship. Any relationship which your intellect feels very near and dear to you, and the mind causes this identification. So the today's title I chose, the art of unbecoming, releasing who you thought you were. What your mind thinks you are, you just keep it aside, and then see the state of your mind. The mind drops that identification, that anger, that reaction. That is why we say the self-inquiry is required. Another way to understand, mind always cooks the story whenever you have anxiety, duality, conflict, reaction, delusion, and long list of all the negative feeling, thoughts, and emotion. Mind always cooks the story. First it cooks the story, then it sees the world outside is responsible. That world includes a person, a situation, and even, look at this, he doesn't care me. He even did not wish me on my birthday. He claims he is so busy. But he talks to other girls, He never forgets the birthday of other girls. Whether it's a girl or a boy, what you think. It can be applicable on both the gender. Look at this, this. He's so he seems that he is very close to that person. I'm her husband. I'm his wife. So I have to go beyond the story that mind cooks. There are many questions to be answered. Why my mind thinks in that way? We have a celebrity. Do you know Bollywood? You all know Bollywood. Yeah, Bollywood is the largest film industry in the world. That is known as Indian film industry. So one couple, I was looking at the interview, and you see that sometimes people have a natural tendency to get rid of, to release who you thought you were. So the anchor asked the question to that couple, actor, celebrity status, and he asked the the wife of the actor, that don't you have some doubt regarding your husband, because he works with lot of actresses, and he, in all the films, he has a romantic scene. What should be the answer? You can think of it, that whatever you think, that is The mind has cooked the story. But now listen to what the actress said. The wife of the actor said, that at least somehow in these 35 years, he should go to some girl. What you thought is totally opposite. He said, at least he should go. So the anchor said, you have such a tremendous faith in your husband? She said, yes. So when you have a tremendous faith with the near and the dear ones, your mind cannot cook the story. Do you see that? And even if you see something, you say, you ask and inquire, you don't have any feeling of ill will. That is the journey of the self-inquiry. No, I see there were a lot of relationships, that's why I divorced. Yes, that's why you are suffering. No, I cannot do that. That is why you are suffering. Don't show your sad expression, I will, otherwise I will catch you. Keep smiling, even there should be a fake smile. Others will catch you. Identification. So the master says when we do the self-inquiry, so we inquire how the ignorance has trapped the mind, how we lost our self-awareness, we fall into the impulsive nature of the mind, how the identification takes place, and how to return to the present moment. What is that present moment? Is mindfulness. I summarized everything. So everyone in the it is like a Saturday night show, and everyone in the crowd they got amazed. There was a pin drop silence, and after that they started laughing. Oh, that is it. So the Eastern wisdom, these principles, if they surprise you, if they amaze you, oh, I should have taken this stand. I should have this kind of a thought associated with the feeling, the life changes. But this amazing, this surprise is prevented by your past impressions, your identifications, your attachment. I have an experience of 40 years. I have seen him. He never talks to me in good faith in love, but he talks to every girl. That prevents you. So the problem is located in us, inside in the mind. Now it seems we all are baby boomers. So we are not uh, we don't have a desire to taste different restaurants. Did you understand? So, we have our own problems in our life. We are engaged in solving those problems. Now understand couple of points. That is what our masters teaches us interestingly, that mind is a great but a crazy storyteller. I have to get rid of this. It cooks the story while identifying with others every day. Every day it happens. Look at this, this guy even does not have a common sense. He should have offered me a cup of tea. A simple thing. It tells the story. Then I breed jealousy and hatred and disliking in me. An impulsive mind pushes my mind down. I fall into unconsciousness, and that causes the impurity in the mind. That is how it comes. It comes by identifying. Use the actress phrase. So by saying, the actor said he should have gone to someone in these 35 years. I also see and watch his film. I see he is in romance with actresses in the film. So I see and I laugh. She explained further that I see the way he does romance in the film, he's not in the real life. So I realize that he is just acting. Can you see that clarity? I'm just giving one example. So last week I was just watching, we were all sitting together. So mind is a storyteller. You have to check, you have to examine, you have to discern, you have to give a reason, you have to find the cause and effect relationship before you believe the story created by the mind. And I can tell you 99% your mind will become free. It happens to me, sometime also the hesitation occurs, but the next moment the intellect says, look at it, what you did. And the next moment it changes. Next moment it changes. That is what happens by consistent listening, learning, understanding, contemplation, reflection, and practice. But if you don't do it, if you don't contemplate and reflect, it will not happen. Then you will say, okay, tolerate this beer guy for an hour. I'm also favoring him by attending his lesson, but you don't change. You don't keep your intention clear that I have to bring a change in my life. That intention is missing somewhere. You want to know the correlates in the modern science? John will say, yes, I don't believe in Eastern wisdom. You give me some scientific reason. So the scientific reason, the research studies neuroscience. So we go to the neuroscience. The neuroscience research shows that our brains are essentially prediction machines. What I explained about the mind, this is how the science explains. Our brains are essentially prediction machines, constantly creating models of reality rather than directly perceiving it. There is one Dr. Lisa. She did a lot of research studies on mind cooking the story and what is the reality. She did the survey of thousands of people in the celebrity. So her survey research, demonstrates that emotions themselves are constructed by our predictive brain. My honey is working in a film. I see him or her in a romantic mood. Now the mind is creating a story. We explain much deeper identification in the attachment and releasing what you thought you were. So the moment you release that from your mind, a happiness and the joy is there. It is gone. That leads to an understanding in the Eastern wisdom. We say we are not our thoughts, emotions, or sensations. We are the awareness in which they occur, they arise, like water, ocean, in which the waves arise. So these waves are thought, feeling, and emotions, but we are none of them. Think of your mind as a lake that has weathered many storms over decades, but water does not change. If I am centered in my essential nature, that is water, nothing happens to me. Then the mind stops cooking the story. When the mind stops cooking the story, there is no anxiety, there is no duality, there is no reaction. The mind first time recognizes this is the way we should live. I am consciousness. I am not my thought. Thought means what? Thought is equal to object plus knowledge of an object plus ego plus consciousness. 4 parts. Thought is equal to an object. For example, you say my honey is crazy. So this is a thought sentence that my honey is crazy is equal to object. Who is the object? Honey. Knowledge of an object? Honey. I recognize the honey. I recognize the person as my honey. So attachment is there. It strengthens by ego plus consciousness. So object changes. Knowledge of an object changes. Oh, he is just a man or a woman. Oh, come on, hold on. Mind, hold on. We don't hold on. We get carried away. Why? Identification. Why? Attachment. Why? Delusion. And then the ego fuels it. When these 3 parts are constantly changing, the consciousness never changes. That consciousness is I am. Don't be so serious again. I told you that I will catch you. Do you see that? Yeah. Indirectly, I'm forcing you to smile. You don't want to smile. I know that. Do you see that, how easy it is? When you recognize that out of the 4, every thought has four parts. 3 parts are changing. And what is changing is not you. Because if you are what you are changing, then you were insulted by your honey yesterday, and today you are a new you. You will forget it, but you don't forget. So that you remains constant. That I is not going anywhere. The I in the childhood, I when you are 10 years old, I am. That was 20 and 30 and 40, and now that I remain constant. That I am is the real I. But I say what I think is I am. That is the problem. What I think it means thought. Thought contains four elements. First three elements are keeps on changing. You found the truth. What happens, science says, science has not reached to that height of understanding of what the Eastern wisdom or meditation is, but roughly I can correspond with some of the studies done on mindfulness or meditation. Uh, the science says that in meditation, there's false identification created by the storyteller, and storyteller is the mind, is deactivated. That is why you experience peace and happiness. Anything real you cannot be deactivated. We say whatever is false has to be deactivated. But I have seen my honey. I will take that issue later. You see the mirror as water. Is it true? You see the blueness of the sky. Is it true? That I will take later. So the master says listening and learning, contemplation and reflection. And when you contemplate and reflect again and again and again, your mind do not allow to is not allowed to cook the story. The mind reflects the inner calm and the peace. From that calmness and the peace you reflect, the knowledge dawns, and that knowledge, it may or may not be true. Now you doubt what you have experienced. Means your thought, your identification, and that dissolves the delusion. And the moment it dissolves the delusion, you are in calmness and peace. You have bunch of the thoughts are coming. You say the thoughts are disturbing me, but you are not your thoughts. Mind does not understand. One more aspect I will pick up just in a very quickly I will pick up one more aspect. Today now it is almost going to be 8 your time. Since you wake up in the morning until now, your mind is busy thinking about the world outside. You don't have a time to think, who am I? And you expect from a teacher that only in one session, let me awaken myself. You are moving in opposite direction, and when you attend the session, you expect the teacher should do some magic to awaken. What a great mind you have. I can believe that not a single thought you had. Let me recognize what the Eastern wisdom says, who am I? Did you repeat that thought in your mind, that I'm the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom? Answer is big no. Harvard research says 90% of the people continues to think about the world outside, about others, not the self. And we expect to be in peace and happiness. The more you think about the world, you have identification, you have an attachment, you have a duality, you have a conflict. How can we expect? Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. First, place of the body, position, and the posture. Then being comfortable, being comfortable, being comfortable, and in being comfortable, what you do, you just start feeling the neck joint, understand being comfortable. Another part that we should understand clearly. When there is a clear understanding and still the mind does not follow, means what? Mind is filled with all kinds of craziness. It does not pay attention to what the instruction is. I said no, feel, be aware of neck joint. First thing to understand what? It is a subtle perception. What is the subtle perception? It is a mental perception. I would say it is a mental seeing, not a physical seeing. Why? Physical perception cannot find a real self. Why? That we will answer later. But understand, just keep that in mind. That is why in meditation we close our eyes to start with mental, either you can say mental or subtle perception. So how you see? Now question comes, how you see the neck joint? By knowing, feeling. What do you feel? That is what I say, sensation, comfort and steadiness. Is there any problem? No, other thoughts are also coming. Let these other thought come and go. You follow the thoughts meant for you. What thoughts are meant for you? The instruction of a teacher. That much, at least that much we are clear and sensible. I'm sorry, I'm touching that sense. So but you pay attention to the other thoughts and then you claim that thoughts are distracting me. So it means stop driving from today because other vehicles are distracting you. You see that? Other drivers and cars are distracting. There is no issue at all. If that understanding is clear, now try this. Look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Look. When I say look at the entire body, you are looking mentally. You are mentally looking or feeling or knowing. Be very clear. I make everything very clear. So when the mind is 100% clear by knowledge, then other thoughts are coming, let it come and go. You continue your journey. You are driving your car. Let other cars continue to run on the highway or the street. Let other homes be there. You are sitting inside your home. Finished. We are so casual, but the mind does not. The mind does not follow it easily. Why? Because of too much of impurity in the mind. That we are talking, too much of impurity in our mind. Because that impurity causes the so-called the distraction or wandering, and that is why we complain, mind is wandering. Otherwise, there is no reason at all. Well, you have understood, so the entire body and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So now being carefree. So when I say be carefree, it means you have to do something. Being carefree means doing nothing. That is one aspect. And when in the state of doing nothing, you see the two factors. What are the two factors? The seer and the seen. What is seen? All thoughts and your experiences at this moment. That is one compartment that is known as the seen. And the seer is I am, is always one. Say I am and first one thought. So you simply recognize thought is separate from I am. Now I am and second thought. So I am is the same constant, and you have the second thought. Two thoughts are unrelated. Two thoughts are unrelated, but I am is constant and the same. So our master says that understand clearly the seer and the seen. Why? No, I'm answering. Why? Why two factors we should know? The knowledge takes place. Knowledge takes place in these two factors. The object is there, that is the meaning of seen is there, clear. Then who knows the object? I am, and that I am is always separate from the object, that is the seen. So that is the meaning. Thoughts comes and go, and you are doing nothing. You are doing nothing. You are watching, feeling, knowing the two. And if you do this is the third step. If you do the practice of the third step at least every day this week, maybe for 10 minutes and 15 minutes, an hour, and if you reach to 1 hour of the practice, you will come and share your experiences next week, which is transformative. But the mind says, why you think too much about yourself? Think about others and live in stress. That is what happens in our life. I can bet you just after meditation, maybe after an hour, your mind starts thinking about others, an event or a situation or anything. Thought, realizing what you thought you were. So in that state, we will move to the next step today. Let us remain in the passive state. So what happens? We deepen the relaxation to recognize seer and the seen again in that step. So what we do, again, it is a subtle perception. Remember, don't forget it. The moment you forget this principle, what happens? The mind, you will see, you will blame and complain that my mind is wandering. Subtle perception, don't forget. So again, you look, you feel, you know, or you be aware of the head and the neck. I say it in differently also. How? I say, you have heard me move the mind on the skin of the head and the neck. Both are same. Both phrases convey the same. So your mind becomes aware and attentive. Then where the wandering mind is? No, you are not. You are not chasing it, and you stay there for a while to experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Same way, look at, look at the right arm, or if you feel, if I say the same instruction, move the mind on the skin of the entire right arm, so you start feeling some sensation. Why you feel those sensations? You experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Why you feel the sensation when you move the mind? We have the answer. Where the mind goes, there the prana goes. Prana means energy, and energy starts moving little deeply. That give rise to sensation. Science is a different explanation. In practice, we should stick to the understanding of the steps in Eastern wisdom. So move the mind on the left arm from the shoulder to the fingertips and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The mind moves on the middle portion of the body. And what do you experience? You remember, you repeat in your mind and see whether you feel it or not. Move the mind on the right leg. experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the I skipped left one, it's okay. The entire body from the top of the head to the toes. So I told you, where the mind goes, there the prana goes. The prana means energy. Energy means experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So what we did in this step, we deepened the relaxation to recognize seer and the seen. That will go, that will become our next step. Seer, there are many names of seer in the seen, knower in the known, knower in the known, subject and object. There are many names given depending on their practice, so we give it a name. But now the next step is breath awareness, mindfulness, how to bring that knowledge and understanding. So I have to recognize what is happening, or the past steps and their experiences. So recall, place, position, posture. Then being comfortable. In being comfortable, our experience is sensation, comfort, and steadiness. That means we change the direction of the mind. I told you many a times. And then being carefree. Where the carefree we see the seer and the seen. Means we are carefree of the seen. Okay, that we did. Then in the next step, we deepen the experience. How? By sensation, relaxation, and stillness. All are happening now. And your mind says, oh, I have a wandering mind. I have a wandering mind. So you are chasing the other cars running on the road while driving. How do you label yourself? If you pay more attention to other cars while driving your car, you can label yourself if that is your experience. But now what happens? Now you see I am and place, position, posture. I am and sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I am and they are separate, carefree. Why I say and means it is separate. I am and sensation, relaxation, and stillness. I believe you are clear. I am and now the moving breath. the flow of the breath. So I am is constant and common in all my experiences of place, position, posture, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, being carefree, the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, and the flow of the breath. That much we should remain aware. That is all, and it will deepen. The practice of meditation. You are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Are you thinking, yes, I have a lot of thoughts from the world outside? What I said, what I said, do you still remember? The art of unbecoming, releasing who you thought you are. So whatever the thought comes, you don't worry about it, let it come. And these thoughts are the traffic on the highway. You are more aware of your own car. How? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Having carefree seer and the seen flow of the breath, you are free. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind or awareness, still it is in subtle perception. Mentally you bring your mind back to the right hand and you feel the sensation. The mind on the left arm, feel the sensation, lift your both the palms, place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences now. How are you, Mead?
I feel very calm, and I feel that this time with you tonight was a turning point for me
Good.
in my understanding of the mind, especially.
Very good. And if you keep that understanding all the time, then we transform ourselves. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. Able to block out the rest of the world for a while, so thank you.
Very good. You blocked it, so I thank you.
Okay.
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 Does he have the same expression? Sophie, how are you?
I'm very good, Girish. Yes, indeed, the rest of the world was not existing. And I heard your voice, but not always.
Yeah, that is.
I was somewhere else. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's a good experience. What you both said is true. Is the monitor in front of me? I have two monitors. So does the monitor say that I know what you are doing, or I say what I'm doing to the monitor? Mind. I am saying. So when who is this I am is the mind. So if the mind stops saying, the monitor does not exist before me. One example. Don't say husband does not exist before me. Answer is big yes. A man exists before you. Husband does not.
Girish, Girish, I have a question, a very practical one. When you send the recording, I think last week you sent two video recordings. May I ask to have just the audio recording, because then I can listen it in my car.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it takes a lot on the phone.
I will continue to send audio and the video recording. Last session, what happened, that you could not realize my internet connection was not there. So I connected a hotspot with my mobile phone, and you people did not notice.
Okay, thank you so much.
How are you, Charlie?
Thanks for that, Sophie.
We don't hear you. Can you increase the volume of?
How's that? How's that? Can you hear me?
We have such a huge noise. Okay, can you say something?
Fine. How's that?
Go ahead.
Okay, good. I'm good. I was aware of the space between the seer and the seen. So when you said the seer stop and the seen, my mind went, oh, what's in the space in between?
Yes. So you see that now I'm bringing my volume down to talk to you otherwise. So what happens? I am and the body. I am and the breath. By repeating, reflecting, and living into that state of separation, now you see that I am in lot of stress. So I am is separate from the stress which is caused by the thought, feeling, emotion, and situation. So it drops. The scene is dropped naturally. You remain free. Beautiful. Good. Fine. And how are you, Anne? Anne, you feel good? We are listening you. Oh, now we are not listening. Previously we were, oh.
I can't hear you, Anne. And I could not hear you, Charlie, either of you.
We were listening to you before, but now we are not listening.